Hello again! As I've been working on these 3 kitchen room boxes for, many months now, I thought I'd show you 2 other kitchens I worked on back in 2014. I was asked to duplicate this miniature kitchen on the right here as closely as possible. The miniature kitchen was made by someone who based it on the miniature kitchen in the collection of the Rijksmuseum, which was made around 1845. The room box itself, the outside and also the stand for it, are made of solid oak, and that was a bit of a problem because I only have miniature wood, or at that time anyway, only had miniature woodworking tools. And while I was lucky that the boyfriend of one of my neighbors was a carpenter, and he helped me get the thick oak to size. He planed it and he cut it to size, and then I was able to use those, the right thicknesses for the wood, and just cut it the way I needed it for the room box. And here I not only looked at the thickness of the wood, but I also tried to copy as closely as possible the grain and pattern of the wood of the original piece. But it was still difficult because, as I said, I didn't have the right tools for that. And the most difficult part, which gave me a lot of stress as well, was the base of the room box had half-blind finger joints in them, and I made those by hand, and it was very stressful for me, but I managed, and I'm actually quite proud of those. I also copied the style of the work. So, for instance, on these windows, one of the windows had the glazing bars going through all the way to the frame of the room box, while the other one didn't. So I made 2 different styles of windows, like the original. The inside of the room box had some other challenges, as for instance the marble used for the floor and the countertop. That's no longer available, as the marble is mined at a different depth now, and so it looks different. So I put the room box in the back of my car and drove to a few local marble companies, and they were all so kind and interested in the project. And of course they didn't make hardly any money from me because I only needed very small pieces. But they really did their best, and they helped me find some marble that came very close. And I gave them a few templates to cut the floor pieces and the countertop. And with a little bit of oil paint on the countertop, I came very close to the original. And it was a similar story for the tiles on the back wall. I only needed 12, and again, the local tile company, very sweet, very helpful, and they found a few tiles that matched the colors of the original tiles. And I was able to scratch the grid pattern of the tiles into the glaze of the tiles afterwards, just as it was done on the original. The next challenge was making some of the brass hardware, like the little handle on the oven door, the faucet, and the doorknob for the cupboard door. The problem was that I didn't have a lathe yet at that time, so I ended up making some of these pieces on my old drill press. And surprisingly enough, it worked pretty well, I must say. I cut up a brass door handle to make the elements for the faucet and the pump handle. And I turned a small brass doorknob into an even smaller one for the cupboard door and for the pump handle. As I was trying to copy everything as closely as possible, it also meant I copied things that were slightly crooked and not very neatly done, like this fireplace grate and the grouting on the tiled stove. Oh, and that little door is not the oven door as I said before, but it's for putting wood on the fire. On the whole, I was quite happy with it. I managed to get it all looking very similar, I think. Once the inside was finished and the roof was on, all it needed was a good coat of wax. And some pretty pictures, of course. And just to dress the scene a little bit, I put some of my own miniatures in there. But just as the kitchen room box in the Rijksmuseum, the one I showed you earlier, this kitchen room box was also destined to be filled with all silver miniatures. My goodness, time really flies. It is May already, and I have this rather wonderful inlaid birthday calendar made by Johan Ulfman. And it's still set to December. And here you see a picture of the work of Jens Torp. And all of the months have a picture by a different artist. So I'll show you. So these come out. There's another one. And of course they have all of the months of the year on there. And so January, February, March. All different artists. April versus May. I can't see the writing, it's so small. I think this is May. June, etc. Here's a piece by Henny Staring-Egberts. But it is May now, so you have to go with this one. And this one is work by Annelies de Kort. So we'll put the rest in here. There goes Jens's picture. There. Now it's up to date again, and just have to put it back. There we are. May. Now, if only I could write that small, I would write all of your birthdays on there. If you follow me on Instagram, you may know that at least I try to, every Sunday I do a post on silver. And I know I haven't been very active recently, but the post is #SundaySilver. And I think a lot of people have joined in since then. And my first post about this Sunday Silver, here it is, was the 13th of September 2020. And I posted this beautiful basket by Jens Torp. It is absolutely stunning. And since then I try to do one post every Sunday. Well, I didn't manage that, and recently I haven't been active at all, and I haven't posted Sunday Silver in, I don't know, this may have been the last one. Yeah, I think so. That's a basket I made myself, actually. Also in a class by Jens Torp. And the bottom one here, that's Jens's version, and the top one is mine. That was my very first class, making a silver item with Jens. But anyway, I wanted to show you something that a friend of mine sent me for my birthday. And I was going to show you this on my Instagram on, this past Sunday, but I just didn't have the time. And this was made by Sun from Miniaturist, and she normally makes really beautiful jewelry in miniature from real gold and silver and precious stones, and it's really, really fantastic. In this instance, she has made something else, and look at that. It's a tiny, tiny, well, I was going to say rubber duck, but it's a silver little duck in silver, and it's so beautifully made. Tiny, 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 but it's absolutely delightful. Yeah, I really like that. Look at that. So that was a really nice surprise, birthday surprise. So I don't know if my friend would like me to tell you who gave it to me. So I just thank you, my friend. You know who you are. #Sundays Silver. Let's see. Oh, here it is. And yeah, a lot of these are mine, actually. That one is not. But most of them are. Here's a little piglet, not mine. That's not mine. So most of these posts are mine, but a lot of them also, a lot of people have joined in. Like this one, I don't know. This is by Martha McLean. And I think it's really nice because, as you know, I really love silver. And now that other people join in, you see a lot more. And yeah, sometimes I see pieces I've never seen before. There's another really nice one. Oh, that's Helen's Doll's House. My first go at Sunday Silver. Mini inkstand by Peter Kisto. That's lovely. Oh, she photographed it on her own silver inkwell. That's nice. I like that. So, yeah, this is something I just really enjoy. And, of course, there are not a whole lot of silversmiths in a miniature, or silver makers in miniature. So a lot of times I do know the pieces, or I've seen them, but I don't have them, but I have seen them. But here, for instance, this is one of mine again. This is a miniature. It's a cent box from 1766, and you know, I really like that, because that's something you don't see very often, where you do see cent boxes, but I mean not in a miniature setting. So yeah, I like the hashtag, and I hope that more of you will join in, so you know, we see even more miniatures, and maybe even some we haven't seen before. So that would be fun. So if you love silver and you're on Instagram, join in. Hashtag Sunday Silver. Until next time.